Memories of a tormented childhood echoed through my mind, haunting every thought and breath. My father, a monster in human form, had subjected me to unspeakable horrors while the authorities turned a blind eye. It was within the suffocating grip of his cruelty that my desire for retribution was forged. The traps I carefully laid were the embodiment of my intricate plan, a symphony of pain and punishment orchestrated solely for those who had abandoned me in my darkest hours. With meticulous precision, I studied their routines, their weaknesses, and their vulnerabilities. I knew them better than they knew themselves, and that knowledge would be their downfall. One by one, the officers of Hillside Police Station would fall prey to my twisted machinations. My mind played with the idea of poetic justice, each trap tailored to fit the sins of the individual officer. The anticipation of their impending doom fueled my thirst for retribution. With each meticulously planned murder, the walls of Hillside Police Station grew tainted with fear. Their once unshakable confidence shattered, replaced by a gnawing dread that seeped into every crevice of their existence. The very institution they swore to protect became a hunting ground for their own demise. Yet my plan was far from complete. The second act of my symphony would begin soon, a calculated game of manipulation and deception. By framing a trusted officer for my crimes, I would cast doubt upon the very fabric of their institution, instilling paranoia and mistrust within their ranks. As the moon cast an eerie glow upon the streets, the stage was set for the next act of my twisted symphony. Like a puppeteer pulling the strings, I would weave a web of deceit that ensnared an unsuspecting officer, a pawn in my grand design. Carefully selected clues meticulously pointed toward Officer David Reynolds, a respected figure within the station. The evidence I planted spoke volumes of his guilt, painting a grim picture of a man corrupted by darkness, each murder meticulously connected to him, creating a damning tapestry of his supposed crimes. The chaos I'd sown within the Hillside Police Station grew exponentially. Trust crumbled like a fragile facade, replaced by suspicion and paranoia. The institution that once bound them together shattered, each officer now wondering who among them was the true puppet master of this macabre dance. As the web of deception tightened, Officer Reynolds found himself trapped in a nightmarish spiral of accusations and disbelief. His pleas of innocence were met with scorn and disbelief, the weight of my carefully planted evidence overshadowing any semblance of truth. The final act of my symphony would soon reach its crescendo, a showdown that would expose the depths of corruption and lay bare the shattered remnants of trust. Officer Reynolds, on the brink of madness, would either succumb to the darkness or find a way to break free from my malevolent grip. The city, once a beacon of safety, now trembled beneath the weight of my vengeance. The Hillside Police Station, once a symbol of justice, stood as a monument to their own downfall. And I, the harbinger of their torment, reveled in the twisted satisfaction of my grand symphony of retribution. The finale awaits, where destinies will collide and the true orchestrator of this nightmare will be unmasked. The line between justice and vengeance is often blurred, and the consequences of one's actions can be far more terrifying than any monster that lurks in the shadows. The stage was set, and the climax of my symphony of revenge approached with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. Officer David Reynolds, now a pariah within the Hillside Police Station, teetered on the precipice of his own demise. The time had come to expose the truth, to reveal the puppeteer behind this malevolent performance. I orchestrated a final trap, an intricate labyrinth of darkness and despair, where the strings of fate would be severed. Officer Reynolds, burdened by the weight of his own guilt, stumbled into my carefully laid snare, unaware of the truth that awaited him. As he traversed the desolate alleyways, the echoes of his footsteps merged with the pounding of his heartbeat. The walls seemed to close in, suffocating him with the weight of his perceived sins. It was within this labyrinth that he would face his ultimate test, a confrontation with the true orchestrator of this haunting symphony. In the heart of the maze, surrounded by shadows, I emerged from the depths of darkness, the calm and cold facade I had maintained shattered, replaced by a malevolent smile that danced upon my lips. Officer Reynolds' eyes widened with a mix of terror and realization as the truth unfolded before him. "I am the embodiment of your past, Officer Reynolds," I hiss, my voice dripping with venom. "The abused child you turned a blind eye to, the one who suffered in silence while you and your colleagues claimed to uphold justice. Now you shall taste the bitter fruits of your inaction." The room echoed with the sound of my laughter, the twisted melody of satisfaction. Officer Reynolds, consumed by guilt and desperation, lunged at me with a primal rage. But his efforts were futile, mere desperate swipes against an immovable force. I sidestep his attacks with ease, savoring the fear in his eyes. As the final notes of our deadly dance played out, Officer Reynolds fell to his knees, broken and defeated. The truth had become his undoing, a relentless weight that crushed his spirit. In that moment, I reveled in my triumph, my revenge complete. But my symphony was not yet finished. The aftermath of my actions would send shockwaves through the hillside police station, shattering the remaining fragments of trust. The truth, no matter how cruel or twisted, had the power to unravel even the strongest bonds. As the dust settled and the curtain fell, the hillside police station became a hollow shell, tainted by the echoes of my vengeance. The officers, once bound by duty and camaraderie, now stood as mere remnants of their former selves. The city, too, would bear the scars of this dark chapter in its history. The streets whisper tales of corruption and betrayal, the lingering echoes of a symphony of revenge that would haunt their collective memory. But as the years passed and the city sought to rebuild, a chilling question lingered in the minds of those who dared to remember. The question of whether the sins of the past could truly be buried, or if they would resurface in the form of another vengeful soul, ready to unleash a symphony of darkness upon an unsuspecting world.